Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Hopefully you can hear me. Eid Mubarak. Let me welcome, inshallah, please sit down. If you have to leave, please leave quietly to your left. Let me welcome you all to our beautiful masjid on this auspicious day. Eid al-Adha is a celebration of the Hajj, of the unwavering faith of Ibrahim alayhi salam, and the willingness to sacrifice by Ismail and the legacy of the Prophet. Today, I want to focus on the celebration of hope over despair. Assalamu alaikum. If you have to leave, please leave quietly. I'm going to give you a few minutes, inshallah. This is an important aspect of what we do at the masjid. This is providing you an update on what is happening in the community and recognizing people who in the shadows have done enormous work to make an impact. As a community, it feels as though we have been in a state of anxiety for the past few years. After 2 years, we are still not over the COVID pandemic. The high rate of inflation has made everything more expensive. Many of us are looking at our stock market, our brokerage accounts, and seeing it decline by 20% or more because of market turbulences. We continue to see gun violence tearing apart our country. The Uvalde massacre, the Buffalo murder, the murders, the July 4th shooting in Chicago have created a loss of security in public spaces. Just 2 days ago, there were threats made against the Muslim community right here in our area. The increased presence of armed security today is a reaction to these matters. In a world of instant and ubiquitous communication, we are being torn apart by divisive issues unlike we ever seen in human history. These are dynamics that have created perception of despair. The history and experience of Hajj, the celebration of Eid al-Adha, teach us that we are tested for our own good and that even in the darkest moments, hope always prevails over despair. As Prophet Ibrahim said, Hasbunallahu ni'mal wakeel, sufficient is God for me, and He is the best disposer of our affairs. So let me give you a few examples of the reason we have to be hopeful as a community. Do you know that July 22, 2022 has been officially proclaimed as the Muslim American Heritage Month by the state of Washington? This is a recognition of a contribution to the well-being of our state, including efforts by many of the MAPS programs like MAPS Amen, MAPS MCRC, and efforts of many of you. On behalf of the Muslim community, I would like to thank Governor Jay Inslee for signing this proclamation and for CARE Washington for pushing for it. Do you know that in the past few months, the city of Mukilteo, the city of Bothell, the city of Seattle, Snohomish County have all passed resolutions and proclamations recognizing religious freedom, the right to choose to wear hijab, the honoring of Ramadan and Eid, and the resolution is pending in the King County too. Just a few years ago, we saw opposition to building of mosque in some of these very places. Thank you to Council Member Riz Khan, Bothell Deputy Mayor Rami Al-Kabra, Seattle Port Commissioner Hamdi Muhammad, and our own Anila Afzali were instrumental in passing these resolutions. On the services front, did you know that MAPS MCRC serves 400 hot meals every month, have distributed over 3,000 boxes of perishable food in 2022 alone, and $8,000 of food and gas cards to the needy, and over 30,000 in rental assistance to help refugee families avoid eviction from their homes. Do you know that both MCRC and MAPS Amen successfully completed contracts with the state of Washington to serve the Afghan refugees this year? And now for the first time, MAPS is even being invited by national partners to become a resettlement agency. First, if we get this, we will be the first Muslim resettlement agency for refugees, and this is a big deal. Do you know that there are over 25 businesses in MAPS SBRN network that tap into services like accounting, marketing, and MAPS SBRN will be hosting a networking event with tradespeople businesses at the end of the month. Did you know that MAPS MCOC participated in World Refugee Day to highlight the work of refugee artists and their Muslim culture? Did you know that MAPS Youth recently completed yet another summer retreat full of fun, spirituality, bonding, and education for our incredible future leaders? Our MAPS programs have had a concrete impact in our state, in our community. Let me make this more real with just one example of a young Afghan refugee girl who recently arrived in Seattle with almost nothing. She felt abandoned and alone. MAPS MCRC helped her find a place to live, supported her getting out of a bad relationship, provided opportunities to learn new skills. Now she is working with MAPS SBRN to start her own small business and become self-sufficient in her new adopted land. Out of despair arises hope. Despite the perception of many challenges, our community has a lot to be hopeful for. We have made a tremendous journey since MAPS started as an organization. Today, we represent over 6,000 families from over 50 countries. We distribute charity to Muslims and non-Muslims alike. We teach good business practices to small businesses. We advocate for justice for the oppressed, and we encourage diversity and equity. With our latest chapter in Seattle, we have grown our footprint, and our impact is broad and deep. To give you a glimpse of the future, I encourage you to visit MAPS Seattle right in downtown. Our Musalla in downtown opened this past Ramadan. Today, we have a community of young, accomplished professionals running this facility. We have hired Brother Akram Bayuni, who grew up in this community, as our resident imam. They're actively building on the foundation of what we've established here on the east side and taking the community further into a hopeful future. Our religion is one of hope and not of despair. On the day of Arafah in 623 AD, the noble Prophet ﷺ gave his last sermon that have guided the Muslim communities around the world for the past 1400 years. As part of this sermon, he recited verse 3 in Surah Ma'idah. This day, those who disbelieve have given up hope of defeating our religion, so fear them not and fear me. This day I have perfected for you your religion, completed my favor upon you, and have chosen for you Islam as your religion. Al-yawma akmamtu lakum dinakum wa atmamtu alaykum ni'mati wa raditu lakum al-Islam ad-dina. As I draw to a close, if you are new to the community, we extend you a warm welcome. We have a lot to offer you and your family. We have a number of programs for kids and adults of all ages, both in summer and in the fall. We need more of you to volunteer for your services. Reach out to me, to the board, or our staff. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep our community safe in His righteous path, resolve our challenges, cure us of despair, keep us hopeful always. Now, let me go to the Vision Awards in the last few minutes. And if I can ask Abdul Salam to switch to the awards. We have 4 awards that we give each year, recognizing people in different categories. For the Faith Award, I want to recognize 2 brothers. The Faith Award is about strengthening our faith and deepening our connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The 2 people we have chosen are Ubaid Faruqi. He is now part of the MAPS Seattle Operating Committee Chair, and Muntasir Ahmed, MAPS Seattle Operating Chair, Vice Chair. These people are being recognized for helping establish a vibrant Islamic center in the heart of the Seattle downtown. They stepped up to what it took to help the community have a strong foothold in the big city. The efforts established started 3 years ago, and finally, with the blessing of Allah and their tireless efforts, it came about this Ramadan. Unfortunately, they're not here because they are traveling to be with their families for Eid. The Advocacy Award is meant to learn from the good around us and enrich our own selves. And this year, we are recognizing Alex Fire, who is the president of Seattle Indivisible, for being a dedicated volunteer, giving his voice consistently to support the Muslim community. He also helped in combating Islamophobia in our region. He partnered with Anila Afzali and others to secure $30 million in state funding for refugees, a first for refugees in the state. Alex would very much wanted to be here, but he could not be here because he has severe back pain. We pray that he would, inshallah, he will be cured, and inshallah, we hope to see him continue his work. The third one is for service excellence, for positively impacting our community. And I see all of these people are people you may not never know because they're working in the shadows. Yasmin Dugadi, for leading MAPS MCRC volunteers, the furniture warehouse, to ensure that new Afghan refugees have furnished homes when they move in. She coordinates donation drop-offs, pickup scheduling, and catered the items that are in most need. Alhamdulillah, she has helped furnish over 120 homes through this warehouse for Afghan refugees. Congratulations, Yasmin Dugadi. And finally, for the model citizen, to be well-balanced human being and model citizen, I want to recognize Saliha Haji Baktesh Olu. Saliha is here right now. You can see her standing there. For each of the awardees, we give a plaque like this, and she is getting her right there. Mr. Saliha, thank you very much for everything you have done for the Muslim community, for a passion to serve the community, initiating a Converts Group program at MAPS, reaching out to the new Muslims in our community. She volunteered her time for 2 years with MAPS MCRC to provide financial services and food supplies, and she is currently working with Somali Task Force in Seattle. Jazakallah khairan, Eid Mubarak. Thank you for your patience in sitting through this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.